birds, reptiles can look like other reptiles, and even two separate species in different parts of the world can look almost identical to each other. This is because, of course, many creatures are closely related to each other, and even creatures that aren't closely related can look very similar to each other, or at least play a similar role in the ecosystem. But every now and again, it's possible to come across a creature that seems to stand out.
Platypus, that's what I am.
Seem to be the odd ones out, and show no resemblance to other creatures, and have no close relatives. In this video, I will be focusing on these creatures, as I go through 5 species that really don't fit in. And for our first species, we'll be heading to the forests and woodlands of Australia and neighbouring New Guinea, as we have the echidnas. I'm very confident in saying that echidnas are some of the weirdest creatures on this planet. They look like they're made up of several different creatures, with spikes like porcupines and hedgehogs, and a face and snout more like an anteater. This gives us a clue into their lifestyle, as their diet mainly consists of ants and termites. Although these mammals are quite unique creatures, they aren't completely alone, as there are actually 4 species of echidna, with one of them being named after Sir David Attenborough. The closest living relatives to echidnas are in fact platypuses, which are very strange creatures in their own right. These 2 creatures are the only egg-laying mammals, and just like the platypus, the echidna used to be aquatic. They were thought to have evolved around 20 to 50 million years ago. It descended from a platypus-like ancestor, and eventually adapted to life on land, as well as having sharp spines along their back. They also have a few other defences. They are equipped with sharp claws, but these claws are mostly used for digging. When approached by a predator, they often dig a hole in the earth and then partly cover themselves, with only their sharp spines being left uncovered. You may also notice that echidnas have strange spikes on their back legs. These can be found on both males and females, and at certain times of the year, these echidnas can produce venom. This venom is mostly seen in males, and is normally only produced around the mating season. It's often used on other rivals, and this spine makes the echidna one of the few venomous mammals. If all of this didn't make the echidna weird enough, the way its body runs is also quite unique. It maintains a body temperature of around 32 degrees Celsius, which is thought to be the lowest body temperature of any mammal on the planet. Not only is this a very low temperature, but its body temperature can also fluctuate drastically. On a daily basis, it can go through a change of around 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and as a healthy human's body temperature only fluctuates around 0.9 degrees daily, this is quite an extreme fluctuation. Although these creatures are very much the odd ones out, they are still in peril. All of the species have been in decline over the past 50 years, facing threats from invasive species, and also from other risks such as habitat loss and traffic incidents. Because of this, they need your help, and I've left the donation link down below. So although these creatures may look like nothing else on the planet, they do have a relative in the platypus. But for our next species, we'll be heading to the savannas and woodlands of sub-Saharan Africa, as we have the aardvark. Now this animal's strange name is actually Afrikaans, and basically means earth pig. This is because of its pig-like snout, but it also has other body parts that resemble other animals. It has long rabbit-like ears, and a tail that's almost rat-like. But the aardvark isn't closely related to any of these creatures, as it's the only living species in its order. The aardvark is not closely related to any other living creature, but it's thought to be distantly related to elephants. These mammals are sometimes referred to as African ant bears, and this again gives us a clue into their diet. They are primarily insect eaters, and feed almost exclusively on ants and termites. Their strange snouts help them find these insects, and they can even seal their nostrils when digging. It's quite rare to see an aardvark in the day, as they're mostly nocturnal. They use their impressive digging skills to dig their burrows, some of which can be up to 15 meters long. They rest in these burrows in the day, before coming out at night to feed. To help them catch their insect prey, they have a tongue that's 30 centimeters long, and they use this to eat up to 60,000 ants and termites per night. Although aardvarks don't have many interactions with other species, they do often directly benefit them. They often abandon many of their burrows, and these provide new homes for wild dogs, pythons, warthogs, and even shell ducks. Although they may live a very similar lifestyle to South American anteaters, the aardvark really does stand out from the crowd. But for our next species, we'll be heading to the forests and alpine regions of New Zealand's South Island, as we have the kea. Now, as I've said many times on the channel before, New Zealand is a very beautiful country with a very unique ecosystem. This was once dominated by very large birds, and today is still home to many birds that can't be found anywhere else in the world. This is the case with the kea, and also with the other members of its family. The kea is in fact related to my favourite animal, the kakapo, but they live extremely different lives. Although this bird is mostly an olive green colour, they do have blue tinges to their feathers, and when they're in flight they expose a bright orange colour. They reach reach an average size of around 48 centimetres, and at first glance they may look very similar to the other parrots in New Zealand. But these birds are in fact very unique, and they actually have quite a dark side. They feed on the usual parrot foods, such as berries, nectar and insects, but these keas are also predatory birds, and will feed on other species of bird, and will even scavenge on large mammals such as deer and sheep.
Wow.
At one point in time,